Welcome to the message recap, where we go over and discuss the message that we had from the previous Sunday. We are in a message series called What Does the Bible Say About?
Which I just thought about. I think I said it first
service,
like,
but not second. Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Don't we do
think
so?
this is what we do all the time? It's like we just call it something different, but anyway.
Well, the interesting thing about this series, though, is that people got to send in what
Ask
they
the
wanted to.
question.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's
this
true.
is what we want to hear about.
that's
You know,
true.
so it's not
From our perspective, not much has changed.
right.
But
Right. Well, this week's message was on judging. Judging.
yep. So one of the questions that came in was, why are Christians so judgy? And I wanted to address that, but I do feel like I kind of hijacked the question a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it just the whole judging topic really opened up a door for something that I don't think we talk about very often, and that you don't hear the right kind of biblical judging. So,
Right.
I mean, we covered the original question in about the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the time was, but what else does the Bible say about judging that I think we've just got a wrong perspective from all the Westboro people and people's just cultural pick and choose from the Bible of just, well, never do it, no matter what, don't judge. And I'll quote Jesus even though I don't believe in Jesus. And like, wait a minute, there's more to the topic than that. There's a lot of things that we should judge, that we're responsible to judge. That is beneficial for us, that's beneficial for others. And so, yeah.
I like just in general, this series so far has been very...
Are you expecting the next couple weeks to...
No. I like where it's going,
So,
is what
I'm
I'm
not going
saying.
to speak for the next
So,
2 weeks, but...
I'm talking from the high point. So we've peaked in this series, but no, but it's added a lot of clarification on these topics that, you know, normally at least from these last two messages, churches don't normally talk about these topics in this manner, about what's the right way to judge. And I mean, just all has been really good. You know, there's a difference between judging someone and condemning someone.
Yeah.
And that's the line that gets crossed.
Absolutely.
You know,
We didn't have time to like do a real detailed study, but I'm not even sure, you know, the first scripture verse we read where Jesus says, do not judge. I'm like, I don't really believe that's a do not judge at all. He's very, I don't know, like if poignant's the word or specific. Like, no, don't judge like this.
right.
But we just take those 3 words and like, oh, this is what he meant, and just never judge at all. Like, no, that's not accurate. So,
Yeah, making the difference to clarifying that I'm not condemning you. Only God can judge your heart, your motives. Only God can condemn you. But I have to judge you. I'm working with you. I have to judge your actions. I have to judge your attitude sometimes. I have to judge. There's something you mentioned about when people do something wrong or whatever, how you said the easy thing to do is just blast them and judge them. I think in our culture, the easier thing to do is just walk away and not say anything. That's even easier. And unfortunately, it's just as bad, maybe even worse. The fact that our culture is the way it is I think because Christians, I know that we got that negative, and we do, that condemning. And here's what it comes across of. I'm better than you. That's the condemning part.
Yeah.
In a way that I don't do what you do, therefore I'm better than you. But unfortunately, the church has believed culture by saying, don't say anything about what I'm doing. You must agree and accept. Don't judge me. Don't judge my behavior.
If you really loved me, then you wouldn't cause any pain or say anything negative.
If there's anything God has called us to do, that is to call out right and wrong. And we've thrown away right and wrong. Well, that's judging right and wrong. That behavior, in my opinion, is wrong. Or according to what God says, that is wrong. And we throw all that in together, and Christians are so afraid. Well, or people say to me all the time, don't judge me, don't judge me. Okay, I won't condemn you. I don't know your heart, but I will tell you this. that what you're doing is not good for you. Okay? Doctors judge all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
You know, that you are not healthy. You need to do this and this. We have to
I'm
make
sorry,
judgments.
Smoking is not good for
Yes.
you. Being obese is not good for you. Those
Don't
are,
judge me.
Okay,
judge
well,
me.
be happy and go die, I guess. Like,
No, hey,
what's the alternative?
I'm not going to condemn you, and I'm not saying I'm better than you. And I think that's where we got off. But yet, our culture is taking that to a place where they just blanket, don't judge at all. And unfortunately, the church has bought into that. Therefore, we're not speaking truth. We're not clarifying or calling out good and bad, right and wrong. See, those are judgments that need to be made. They must be made, at least in our own families, in our own, in our lives. We have to make those judgments.
Right. And the problem is, if you don't make those judgments, if you just say nothing and walk away and don't if you're moot on the subject, it's viewed as a form of acceptance. You're accepting it.
I think, Dave, you just said what probably bothers me the most, and maybe I come across a little bit too aggressive in the fact that I don't want to do that.
I was going to try to not laugh.
I do not want to walk away leaving somebody with the impression I just agreed with them.
Right.
I want you to know I don't agree with you. I believe that is wrong and harmful and hurtful, and it's not good for you or our culture.
I can still treat you like a human
Oh,
being.
absolutely.
I can
And still love you and
still
embrace-
love
absolutely.
you. All of those things
Yeah.
can be done while also saying that's not right, that's not good, that's not healthy, whatever. Which I think culture says, no, those two can't be. It's got to be one or the other. No, that's not true. Jesus was full of grace and truth.
Yes.
Both.
I love the fact that not a little bit, 100% truth and 100% grace.
Yep.
And then also, just speaking the truth in love, as Paul tells us,
Yep.
is I don't know. I think if we really love somebody, think about our children. We judge them more than anybody because we love them so much.
Oh, I thought because sometimes they're little buttholes.
Well, they are. But we want to change that because we love them.
True.
Hence the judgment. Yeah.
That's the judgment. And we make those judgments in love. How many times have you disciplined your kids and you're both crying? You're both like, I don't want to say no to you. I don't. It breaks my heart. But because I love you, I need to do this. And I think the more we love people, the more. How loving is it? I was going to finish my sentence. The more we love them. How loving is it to not correct harmful behavior? How loving is that?
It's not.
Oh, yeah, I'll let you. You think you're drinking Kool-Aid, but actually it's poison. But I'm not going to say nothing.
I don't want to hurt your feelings.
I don't want to hurt your feelings.
You seem to like the poison, so
Yeah.
yeah.
It's we have to judge everything, but never condemn people or speak to them in a way. And I think you made that very clear. How we say it, speak to people in a way that comes across, I am better than you. Because I know this for a fact. No one's better than somebody else. You might have strong areas. Come on. We all fall short. We all make mistakes. We all do bad things. We all hold on to false beliefs. There's nobody different, right?
Yeah.
We do. I am not better than you. That's where the whole log and spec thing comes in. Basically, it has one point. You're no better when you judge somebody. Now, if you want to help them, we critique one another often. It's because we care, right?
What do you?
Yeah, absolutely. If I didn't care, I wouldn't say anything.
Right.
Yeah. What do you think about, okay, so never condemn people with your judgment. What do you think about Jesus and the Pharisees?
Yeah,
Is that just a special circumstance, him being the Son of God
He's
and all
Jesus
that?
and all, yeah.
But I mean, those I would think are pretty condemning.
Yeah.
Woe to you, you brood of vipers,
But remember,
you sons of the devil.
Remember this.
He was Jesus.
God can be the judge.
He gets a pass.
God can judge
Yeah,
people's
he
hearts
can.
and calling them right out that your father is the devil
Yeah.
is pretty judging. But he knew that. Their father, they were following the devil.
Yeah.
So he could say that.
Yeah. Okay.
But we can't.
We shouldn't do that.
No. Unless somebody confesses and says that's what I'm doing and this is what, that's different. We don't have to be afraid of truth. We need to be truthful all the time. We just need to care about the people that we're being truthful to. I'm telling you the truth. Why? Because I love you. I would never tell you the truth in a condemning way. I would tell you the truth in a saving way.
Mm-hmm.
It's all in the attitude in which we say things.
The heart behind it.
Yeah, I care about you. Therefore, I must tell you what I see. I must share with you. If I know something you don't know, I have to share it with you.
Do you think a lot of times the perception of Christianity today comes across because of just the power of the internet and social media and, people post these sort of things without much context or whatever? Do you think there's a place for that kind of just judging in mass? Or do you think it's more one-on-one relational?
Oh, no, I think it
be.
needs to be done in mass. It needs to be done publicly. Somebody needs to... I love America because we supposedly have freedom of speech, and that's in question. But I think we still do. Well, maybe not. I don't know. But the point is that everybody has the right in this nation to speak what they believe and feel. And Christians are no different. We have the right to speak generally about a topic or an issue going on in our culture. Again, I don't think people are so much against that if it's not done in a condemning, I'm better than you way.
Right.
But how about this? It's a good idea. Or, hey, I can see things in our culture that just are not good. I've read history. I know. So, you know what? I mean, it's just, you know what? These are not good. And we see things coming, and we see attitudes, and we see principles being broken that can only lead to a dead end. But I'm not going to tell you that because I don't want to hurt your feelings, is an absolute lie from the devil of hell himself. Mm-hmm. I see it in funerals. You knew this was coming up.
Yeah.
Where I'm going to avoid truth or facts or the matter or what I believe. I'm just going to speak in a way that makes you feel good. Well, there's a place for that. But again, making you feel good, is that the goal? I think loving you, but loving somebody is speaking truth or saying something. But to just say all nice stuff and not really say anything at all, who does that help? What good comes out of that? Mm-hmm. There's no good. And I'm not saying, you got to be very careful when you're talking to people who are hurting or people in the hospital or people dying of lung cancer about the smoking. And you don't condemn people for, you get what you deserve, no, but mm-hmm. it's not also a thing to say, hey, you know what, we just really wouldn't want your kids doing this, or this is the truth. And we say it in a very loving, helpful way. But to avoid truth, there's just no excuse for that. And I think Christians will be judged someday. I don't know how, but just this, or God would say, "Hey, I've partnered with you that you are my voice to speak truth into this world, to speak truth, not to condemn, not to judge, not to say you're better, but to speak truth, whether people like it or not."
Mm-hmm. What have you done with it?
Doctor told me one time, he said, hey, I'm going to have to cut your eye open and put a tube in there and stuff like, oh, that didn't sound very good. You hurt my feelings. Hey, thanks for telling me the truth, Doc. I think that's what we'll have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So judge away.
Yeah. And that's
help away.
Yeah. Well, and that's
help away.
That's what I meant
through
when
judging.
I said
Yeah,
through judging. And that's what I meant at the beginning when I said it's addressing these topics in a way that it's mm-hmm. not common for churches to talk about. Mm-hmm. You talk about the not judging, but how do we judge? And that was the key part in there was how do we do that? It was good. So if you haven't seen it, go watch The Message on our YouTube channel, and we will see you next week.